Hi everyone, James from Elite. So the guys have just finished this latest heat pump installation. They took out a massive twin fan, quadruple fan, 24 kilowatt Grant air source heat pump. We have put in an 8 kilowatt Ideal HP290 heat pump. This little thing here compared to the massive thing that was in already. You can understand, like 15 years ago, there was putting in heat pumps that they thought there was just the boiler size that they need, but with the better education of heat losses and stuff like that, we know that we can get miles smaller on this. So they've adapted this heat pump to the original pipework that goes under the ground to the house. As you can see, it is located away from the house. This is the Ideal HP290. So the cool thing about this project is that we've had to overcome some design aspects of the original installation, and I want to show you how we've overcome them things and made it a beautiful, perfect, efficient system with low running costs. We've had to overcome these things, and I'm going to go show you why. So we're in the cylinder cupboard. So this is just the original heat pump cylinder. We know this has got a larger coil because it's been on heat pump previously, so we've adapted to the original cylinder. So issue one we had was the primary pipe that came in pre-insulated under the floor under the house teed off to the manifold downstairs, which I'm going to go show you, and up here, so we can put a normally 3-port diverter valve on because we couldn't see the underfloor flow pipe. So that was issue one, and we knew this because when the heat pump was on originally and the underfloor was on, it was robbing heat from the radiators upstairs. So it's radiators are out, underfloor downstairs. So that was issue one. So we had to hydraulically separate the underfloor, which I'm going to show you. Second of all is we had to change these heating zone valves to normally open zone valves. So the underfloor one and the one on the heating. The reason being is because of the electrics that we use on the Ideal, it only sends a power out to switch over the hot water, which is the original zone valve. So when that zone valve opens, it also, same power, shuts these off. And when that deactivates, these naturally open and would naturally open like it would be a spring-loaded diverter valve back over to heating. So essentially, we've made it a 3-port by the wiring with the normally open zone valves. So that overcome the wiring issue that we had with our new system. And I'm going to show you the underfloor for the hydraulic issue that we had with the original system. Let's go see the underfloor. Okay, so this is the underfloor manifold. Originally, that pump there was on a mixing valve and straight onto the heating circuit under the floor. So that pump there would drag energy and flow from the primaries up to the manifold, and then the upstairs radiators would suffer. So what we've done is we've created, I want to show you, a close coupled T here. So the flow goes off, the return comes back, and what this makes is a hydraulic separation. So this pump now just spins and spins and spins around this circuit, and then our heat pump, circulation pump outside, will just go around this loop here. So this pump will affect our primary heat pump as well. Got a bit of rusty water on my finger, it looks like I've been smoking. So, yeah, that's it. We've hydraulically separated the underfloor and from the primaries, and therefore the radiator is getting nice and toasty upstairs, and our underfloor is downstairs as well. And each pump is not confused with one another. So this is how we've overcome original design issues and adapted to our new system, overcome them, and made a perfectly efficient heat pump system with low running costs.